Well, this morning we are watching a couple of storms, one giant storm actually that's moving through Brainerd right now. So I want to go ahead and show you how big this storm is. It is moving at about 40 miles per hour off to the northeast. The sirens are going off. I'm hearing from viewers in this area, and they're saying that the house is shaking. They're seeing a lot of lightning, and you can see that. Look how many lightning strikes are associated with this storm. So let's turn off that lightning tracker. Here's a look at that warning area. It's for Aiken, Cass, and Crow Wing County until 5:30 this morning. This storm moving through again at about 40 miles per hour. And with this, we're seeing wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. And we could see ping pong ball size hail, which is very big enough to do some damage. So if you're in this area, you want to make sure that you're away from windows. You're moving inside to an interior room. It might not even be a bad idea to go into your basement because that's how strong this storm is. So let's take a look at where it's heading. Moving through Aiken at about 5:19. Emily headed for you next at about 5:23, and then making its way toward Hill City within the next half hour or so. So again, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and ping pong ball size hail with this storm. This is a bad one, so you want to make sure you move inside to a safe space. Wind gusts with this storm at 60 miles per hour. So we're expecting damage to some roofs, some sidings, some trees as well. We've already had reports of damage, some tree limbs down, and several different power outages with this storm. So let's just go ahead and zoom in here, give you a better look at what we're dealing with. So the storm, again, moving off to the southeast very quickly at 70 miles per hour. You can see New Richmond under the warning area, also near Emerald and Baldwin. Now with this, we're hearing reports of torrential downpours as well. So you want to make sure that if you're waking up right now, you got that alert on your phone. You want to move to a room that has that interior area, no windows. Move to the basement if you can, because we could see some small hail with this as well. And those wind gusts again at about 60 miles per hour. It's going to be a really tough one considering how heavy this snow actually is. So taking a look outside, you can see the snow is continuing to move throughout the metro area and then southeastern Minnesota. So where you see the spots where it's a little bit of that darker shade purple, that's some heavier snow, but for the most part, this is pretty light to moderate toward Minneapolis right now, some light snow falling there. We're starting to see a little bit of this break up towards Stillwater and in the northern metro. We have a couple of light flurries falling in St. Cloud and in Baldwin right now. Otherwise, still coming down pretty good near Chaska, toward Gibbon and LeSueur, Mankato. Also a little bit of that snow coming down. And then it's really going to be the southeastern corner of the state that'll see the snow lasting the longest throughout the day. So you can see toward Winona right now and Spring Grove, some of that heavier snow still coming down, and it's continuing to churn. You can get a better look at this snowstorm, which has brought several inches already to the state and still more to come throughout the morning. The whole morning commute looks like you're going to run into snow at some point, at least for the metro and on south. So let's go ahead and put this forecast into motion for you as we go through the next couple of hours. Eventually, we'll start to see the snow break up, and you can actually see by about 9-10 o'clock, a little bit less prevalent, still some snowy spots out there. One thing also to note with this, we've got some strong winds. So when this snow is coming down, it's often coming down near sideways with winds up toward 20 miles per hour in some spots. So again, southeastern part of the state, the area to watch throughout the rest of today. For the most part, the snow will wrap up by lunchtime, but you can see this is 4:30, still showing a little bit of that snowfall activity in the southern metro, also in parts of western Wisconsin. That will eventually move off, but a chance for flurries will continue through the overnight and then into tomorrow as well. It's going to be something we continue to deal with. As for how much snow is still to come, maybe another dusting for the northern metro. We're really starting to see that back off there. Another couple of inches for the southern metro, but we could see 3 to 4 new inches for Rochester and toward La Crosse for the rest of this morning and then into this afternoon as well. It will be a concern as we go throughout the next day or so because we have a lot of rain that's on its way and the ground's already saturated. There's no place for that rain to go. So that will be a big concern over the next 24 hours, something to watch for. If you're driving and you come to a street where you see some water, you want to make sure that you turn around because it just takes a few inches to pull your car away and it's just not worth it. We're standing among pieces of what used to be a shed. I actually just walked over here and found the door to the shed, and to give you an idea of where this came from, the original shed where it stood right over there. So it traveled several yards to get over here. That truck that was parked inside at the time lost several of its windows. There's a lot of damage here. We're also seeing some of those trees down. And then we also have a cattle feeder completely not only turned on its side, but it traveled about 20-30 yards to get there. So this is one of the areas where they believe that suspected tornado came down. But Mike, as you were talking about those damaging winds, really been a concern. 58-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This was reported in St. Paul, downtown St. Paul. Wow. But we've seen wind gusts up to 66 miles per hour. So this one reported 8:56 a.m. So right as that storm was sweeping on through, but to come down that much at a time, and with winds 60 to 80 miles per hour. Think about like a fastball being thrown.
Yeah.
Smaller,
Good
but
comparison.
still can do that damage.